even though that does about...
Is going to try for another Will-O-Wisp. Will it hit? No!
The cryptic part would make sense, and you might wonder, well, why the Gracie?
And welcome to the very second episode of Silph Co Sports, your source for all the VGC info that you know and love, and you can't wait to hear. If you're wondering why I am joined today by this lovely substitute doll, it is because Nibbs Plays Games is also here with me, but for some reason we can't get that broadcast to work because we've got good old Texas internet, and y'all don't know how that is. So we are doing the best that we can today, but yes, please excuse us if it seems like we have some technical difficulties. But Nibbs, how are you doing tonight?
I'm great, Todd. How you doing?
Doing good, doing good. We can still, it's good that we can still hear you even though we can't see you. You know, best of luck to you in the world without internet. We know that's hard out there when you don't got a good internet connection, and so. No.
Hey, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. But I should say it's pretty cool being a Pokemon. I've never been a Pokemon before, even if it is just a substitute doll.
Right. You're close. You're closer than you've ever been before. So I feel you there, you know. And you got the nice little tie too. It really is a good cut. I really appreciate that. I think that is a very fitting for the situation. But I am super duper excited. Also, big shout out to our producer Upsmash behind the curtain, our resident Ditto lover running the show tonight. We forgot to give him a shout out last time, so I wanted to make sure that we gave him a shout out at the beginning of the show. All of this is made possible by Upsmash. Hopefully Littlest Nelly can drop a link to his YouTube channel in the comments, but he makes a lot of great stuff, so definitely go check him out. But other than having internet troubles, Nibbs, how have you been doing? How have you been surviving the apocalypse? What's been new for you?
I've been doing pretty good lately. I can't really complain too much. I'm very excited for some of the events coming up that we have to talk about here later on in the show. There are a lot of exciting things for us to talk about here. But I do also want to iterate. Go watch Upsmash's shorts. They've been really good. Yeah,
no, he does this thing called the short decks, which is really, really handy. It's like these little 30-second clips that show you kind of how to use a mon in the VGC meta, like, you know, Regigigas, run it next to a cleansing gas, wheezing, you know, all this stuff with a life orb, and goes through like all the details of what you should know about it, which I use like that kind of stuff a lot. There's a lot of times where I was like, I want to use, you know, the other day, Minshao. I want to use Minshao. What's a good move set for Minshao if I wanted to start from scratch? You know, you can go look up, you know, what Smogon does, but a lot of times like Smogon is like, you know, kind of makes move sets for what's best for Smogon rules and not like, you know, real VGC Pokemon rules. And so sometimes those move sets are not necessarily the best. But anyways, the short deck stuff really breaks it down for you. Here's the long-winded shout out, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But we've got a ton to talk about tonight, so we better get to it before we get too far behind. Nibbs, what do we got on the agenda for us tonight?
All right, so we are going to be talking about some mamoswine, some potential Series 11 leaks, and the return of Premier League challenges. That's something that I'm really excited about. Then we're going to be speculating the VGC Cosmos in our new section, What If? Which I'm really excited for that topic. Then we'll finish the night off with our showcase match of the match of the night between Beniti Soldier and Echo Rose. And then we'll have our top 5 plays of the week, like we did last segment. And that'll be the wrap. That'll be the whole show.
I'm excited about the matchup between Beniti and Echo. I know that Beniti's been out of VGC for a little while, but when we used to, like, when I first started VGC, Beniti and I were big rivals, and she was always doing some kind of tricky shit. So I'm hoping that we get to see some of that. But Echo Rose, I mean, like, Echo is really good. So you know, gotta hats off to him. Anyways, sounds like one hell of a show. Let's get after with our first story of the night. Nibbs, you've got the first one, defrosting mamoswine. Tell us what's up with that.
All right, so mamoswine, a new release here in Pokemon Unite. I believe it came out last week. Sylveon just came out yesterday, but right before that, we had our newest release in Mamoswine. It is known as a defender, at least that's what Pokemon Unite is calling it. But this thing hits really hard. It's got a real nice moveset and Ice Shard and Tackle. And it's got Ice Fang, High Horsepower, or Earthquake. It's got that really nice ability in Thick Fat. Every time the Pokemon deals damage, its defense and special defense are increased for a short time, which really just means up to three times. And when Mamoswine uses Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, or Ice Fang, the next basic attack becomes a boosted attack. What do you think about this here? What's your take on it, Dodd? Are you excited about it? Is it really a defender? Is it an attacker? Have you had a chance to use it at all?
I haven't had a chance to use it at all. I haven't seen its real it wasn't one that hit the meta like Blastoise did, right? Blastoise was the defender where everybody's got to have a Blastoise on their team. I didn't feel like that happened with Mamoswine right off the bat, and so I wasn't too kind of jumping forward towards him. He is super tanky from what I've played against. Which always something to worry about when you're playing against those tankier mons. But is this what was needed to revive Unite though? Because one of the things that I think happened right after Mamoswine is we saw Unite's numbers jump up exponentially, right? Right now, I mean, I'm gonna check out what they are right now, but I know that yesterday they were higher than Sword and Shield. Now, I don't know if that's the case for today, but let's go see and just see where they're at right now. 9K viewers on Sword and Shield, and Pokemon Unite at 6.8K. So I think it probably evened out a little bit, but at least yesterday and some of the days before, everyone was really strong into Unite. You had Sylveon dropping as well, but Mamoswine has really been, here to kind of shake up the meta. And I have seen some plays from some bigger players out there with Mamoswine that show that he does have potential. But you've been playing a lot of Unite lately, Nibbs. Have you seen Mamoswine out there? What are your feelings on it?
I have seen Mamoswine, and I have been playing a lot more lately. I think the increase in number probably has more to do with the release of mobile. So a lot of people are playing on their cell phones right now. Not everybody, but a lot of people are. The real gamers like us are just playing on our Switches, which is also mobile. I don't know if you know that or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can take it anywhere you want. It was mobile beforehand.
Right. I mean, mine stays on my dock 99.9999% of the time, unless I'm flying somewhere. But anyway, back to the question of, have I seen Mamoswine? Is it any good, or what's my take on it? I think Mamoswine is good, but I think you kind of nailed it right on the head there. I don't think that it is overbearingly powerful. And maybe that is because it's a defender, but maybe when you're putting the fact that it's a defender out in front of you, then yes, it does hit harder than most defenders, and maybe it is a little bit more bulky than attackers, or it doesn't hit quite as hard as attackers. It's kind of in a weird position. You can't really consider it a supporter role. You can't really consider it an all-arounder. But yeah, it's been pretty common, but not on every single team, just like you mentioned. I think you absolutely nailed it on the head. Something that I would be looking out for, if I were playing on Unite right now, right in this moment, you're probably going to see a Sylveon, because it did get released last night.
Everyone wants to play with a new thing. Everyone wants to play with the new shiny. When you get a new toy, everyone's got to try it out.
Have you seen Sylveon at all? Have you played
I haven't.
with it?
I haven't played in the last couple of days, and I know that she dropped in the last couple of days, and I've seen some stuff on Twitter and the various places where I see some VGC highlights, but I haven't really gotten a chance to go up against it myself yet. Have you?
I have. So I played with Sandbush Senior last night and his crew with WD Michael and friends and Sater and Zay. You got to mention all the homies when you mention all the homies.
Right.
But yeah, Sylveon. So Sylveon hits so hard. Me and Sane were laying in the top there, and Sane was using Sylveon and I was using Lucario. And game number 1 with Sylveon, we discovered that Hyper Voice for Sylveon. We believe it hits harder the farther away your opponent is. So if it's a little more distance and not right up in melee range, it's going to do more damage than if it was in melee range, which it can one-shot opponents that way. But it's really good and it's really strong. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Sylveon so far.
Yeah, that's definitely scary. That's definitely oof. We'll see how that changes up things. What did Sylveon end up getting classified as? A support?
I think it's an attacker still, yeah.
An attacker? Okay, interesting.
Mhm.
Very interesting. Yeah, it is very interesting that got classified as an attacker. I thought you'd think that they would be trying to get support right now to balance out some of the what they have in there. They don't have very many support mons. It's kind of like the lowest number that they had, and they've really stacked on the defenders these past couple of weeks, right? With Blastoise and Mamoswine. So I was thinking it was definitely going to be a support, but interesting to see it as an attacker. And yeah, I'm interesting to see how it shakes things up. Unite's been getting, as we said before, a real big revival lately, and I'm glad to see it. I want to see it contend with Pokemon. I don't want VGC to be the only real competitive thing out there, other than I guess Pokken. Poken's still a thing. I guess I can dust off Pokken and try getting better at Pokken again. I'm never gonna get as good as some of those Pokken people.
I've never
Who
even
am I
played
kidding?
Pokemon, I gotta be honest with you.
I'll have you try it with me sometime.
Okay.
It's a 2-player game. It's a fighter game. It's a lot of fun. But it is, and honestly, it is one of the more as far as fighting games go, they really did make a good fighting game with some interesting, fun mechanics to use. But it never really got off the ground. Other than, I guess, now with these tournaments, I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. It's weird. It's been weird. But anyways, the second story that we have tonight is we got leaks, Nibbs. We got leaks, or maybe leaks. I don't know. They're possibly leaks. Series 11. We had a possible leak last week that Series 11 is going to be exactly like Series 8. The leak states that based off of some insider information about the global expedition, that the format for Series 11 will be that of Series 8. Pretty much meaning that Series 10 with Dynamax back in. One restricted, but you get the Dynamax again. So this could mean the return of Dynamax. The previous rumors when it came to Series 11 was that it was going to be like the GS Cup, where you have 2 restricted and ideally no Dynamax. We didn't know. We haven't had this confirmed. But yeah, that's really the gist of the story as far as the leak goes. How do you feel about this, Nibbs? Are you, if we go back to Series 8 and we allow Dynamax back in and only go with 1 restricted, how are you going to feel about this? Is this good or bad? Do you think this rumor's credible?
Well, side answer, I think this is all speculation.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an actual leak. I think it's just speculation. Do I think it's possible that we do go back to Series 8 for Series 11? Yeah, absolutely. Pokemon has thrown us some crazy loops out there, where we don't really know what they're thinking sometimes. Like with the ban list for Series 6, after Series 5, with Incineroar and Rillaboom and all them taking off, and then banning them in Series 6, and then going from Series 8, which you had just mentioned was single restricted Dynamax format for VGC, and then going from there straight back to Series 7 into Series 9. It's really hard to say. And then after Series 9, Series 10, they drop Dynamax and bring back the single restricted. What my logical guess would be for Series 11, I would think that it's going to be Series 9 and Series 7 without Dynamax. I think that's the logical step that we take here, coming from no Dynamax with single restricted.
Yeah.
But you may also be onto something as well with the previous rumors being the GS Cup with 2 restricteds. I think that's definitely possible as well. But we haven't seen double restricted in 2 years, 3 years, I think. It's been some time since we've seen that.
I thought we had a double restricted at one point with the Series 9 meta at some point, or no?
No.
I thought we did.
That was just that we had grassroots tours that had GS Cup. Actually, Turtle Mania VGC, who is an ATX VGC player, he is actually hosting a GS Cup tour right now that it started, I think, like 2 hours ago. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of grassroots tours that go on. Chase Tiki, who is one of my people in the ATX community, one of my friends.
One of your co-hosts, yeah.
One of my co-hosts. I was looking for the right word. I mean, he's a good friend of mine. I don't want to discredit him of that. But he's pretty big in the scene where he does his own grassroots tours, and he'll create like a specific format. And one of them is GS Cup that he's done in the past. So It's definitely possible, but if I were to guess what the next format would be, and that's all we're really doing, I think, in this time, because they have not made an official announcement, I would guess that Series 11 would be Nomax Series 9. And that, maybe that's just me having wishful thinking, but to me, that's just a logical step. What do you think, Todd?
I think that I think double restricted would be a very interesting format. Although I would argue that no Dynamax has also made this meta very, very stale. You know, I think that there is, you know, a couple of one-trick ponies. I mean, we're about to, like, one of the next stories up here is the Victory Road Championship, and when you look at the popular Pokemon used in the Victory Road Championship, which is something we're going to talk about, it's all the mons that we already know are really popular in Series 10. And you know, someone today was building a team for VGC in our Discord, and you know, they didn't have any of those main mons on there, and you have to tell somebody, like, hey, just so you know, like, it doesn't matter if you don't like these mons. What are your answers to Rillaboom? What are your answers to Incineroar? What are your answers to Zacian? What are your answers to Xerneas? What are your answers to Turntoger? You know, and if you don't have those on the team, then the team doesn't really work, which honestly, I think has really made a lot of things kind of stale there. I don't know if adding another restricted really makes that much better. And to be honest, I really like Dynamax. Like, I know that a lot of competitive players don't really like Dynamax, but as far as a gimmick goes, I think it's the best one. I think that it's been one that can turn the tides of battles. If you have one Pokemon left and you still have your Dynamax, like, you have a chance, you know. And I love mechanics that can do that, even if you're on a 3v1 situation. So I don't know. I would like to see Dynamax come back, honestly. But I would also, if we don't get Dynamax, then I want to see double restricted and see how that changes up things up.
Well, you know what I say to that?
Run Satirider and Zacian, right?
You know what I say to that? If you're really excited for Dynamax and you're really trying to see that again,
yeah.
There's actually a format right now, and I'm realizing it. This is probably the time to bring it up tonight. So yeah. So if you guys are really, really missing Dynamax, the Dynamax format, there's actually something going on right now in October called the Spooky Cup that Pokemon is hosting. So basically, there is a limited number of Pokemon that you're allowed to choose from, and there's actually a lot of frustration, a lot of talks,
and Colossal on there.
That's exactly where I was going with that. There's a lot of talks about how can you make this legal? It's one Players Cup, 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
And the only reason it went 4 is because it didn't exist really at the time or whatever.
Yeah. Shout out to Little Kelly coming through with the links in chat. Thank you.
Nice. But yeah, basically you can play Spooky Cup right now on PokemonShowdown.com. For those of you who are not familiar, it's actually it's a web-based Pokemon simulator, Pokemon battle simulator. That you can choose from many different formats to play from. You can team build on there. You can change the EVs and moves right there. You can do it from your phone on your hand. I play it when I pretend that I'm going to the bathroom at work. Sometimes I pull out my phone and I'm actually laddering.
There you go.
I doubt my boss.
Everybody's got to find some way to kill time at work and convince the capitalist overlords that we're worth keeping around, right?
Hey, I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to beat Colossal and Dragapult and Spooky Cup, man. And the best time to do
without using Colossal and Dragapult, that's the hardest part.
I will admit, while we're on the topic right now too, I've made one team and I got into the top 100 in Spooky Cup, and I've kind of been chilling there. And basically it was literally every single game I lead with Mimikyu, and it has Mental Herb, so I get Trick Room off no matter what. And I also have Grimmsnarl that has Taunt and Trick Lagging Tail. And then it also has Throat Chop and Spirit Break. So it's kind of, anytime I've seen that Cole matchup, I've actually been able to handle it. But that is definitely something to watch out for.
Maybe I can return back with Mimikyu Snorlax. That combo was so fun. Belly Drum Earthquake. Just saying.
Mimilax is cool.
Mimilax is fun. But I got a team that hopefully after the show I can show you out that I'm thinking about for a event that you actually have coming up, and we can use this time to actually talk about that too. Make sure we highlight it. You guys have a charity event. ATX VGC is hosting a charity event this weekend, correct?
That's correct. So recently we had found the unfortunate news that one of our biggest invest and favorite members. Literally our absolute oldest member that is not a founder, Adam Santacos is what he goes by. His daughter Biebs had come up with a rare brain tumor, and we're all very sad to hear that. So ATX VGC, a group that and you just mentioned that I'm a co-founder of. We decided that we love Adam and we don't want to see him struggle. It's already going to be a struggle just having that complication or however, mind you, that's a struggle in its own, and we don't want to add to it. Financially, we want to do everything we can for him. And as I'm not a millionaire, and most of us aren't, we felt the best way that we can contribute to Adam and help him out is to hold an event for him, where all the funds, you got to pay a $10 entry fee, and that literally just goes straight to Adam's family. And he's also expressed that if you don't want to pay it to him because you don't know him, there's also the cancer awareness that you can donate to as well. But yeah, that takes place this Saturday at 10 o'clock Central Standard. And we have Battlefy links and everything. Unfortunately, I don't have access really to my laptop right now because my internet is being goofy.
Don't worry about it. Little Nelly's coming through with the links hard. There's links in chat there to ATX VGC's Twitter where they're talking about it, and all the links for the Battlefly stuff are right there. So if you're interested in that, definitely go check that out. But yeah, we went on a quite the tangent there. Up Smash is probably sitting in the back like, what the fuck's going on?
Also, really quick, thank you, Nelly. I can't see chat or like really see anything except for up at the top there. But thank you. So
yeah, boom, there we go, coming through. All right, the next story that we have up here though is the Victory Road Championship. We talked a little bit about it earlier, but Nibbs, you got a little bit more information on that. Tell us a little bit about what happened this weekend in the Victory Road Championships.
Yeah, just a little bit of information there. We did have the semifinals that took place this weekend. It was between Spain and Italy, and maybe you can help me out with the other side. I believe it was South Korea and was it China?
Yeah, I'm trying to look up the tweet right now. So I believe it was South Korea and Italy versus China and Spain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so I had the right team, but I just had them. Yeah.
Right. Italy versus Spain for the I guess was what we have for the championship going into the finals. So pretty exciting stuff. I got to watch. Or did you get to check out any of the matches?
I got to see a little bit of them, but not really a whole lot. I was kind of busy this weekend, unfortunately. But it is really cool to see. I mean, they had the World Cup. It was a lot like it was a lot in resemblance like the actual World Cup for FIFA regulations for soccer, as we like to call it here in the US, where they would have group stages, qualifying stages, and you would have to qualify into the bracket, and then from the bracket you move on, and it's win or lose. But basically, maybe I'm not explaining quite enough, but the team breakdowns, each team has 7 players, and whichever team gets to 4 wins first for the team, that's the team that wins the set. So you could win 4-3 or 5-2 or whatever, but basically, like you're on Spain and I'm on Italy. If you beat me, then Spain is up 1-0. That's how that works.
Yeah, and Spain took on Italy. That was the big one in the semifinals match, and they took out Spain took out the U.S. To get their spot against Italy, which was really interesting. It was funny because you're talking a lot about some of the team they only had to win 4 matches to go on to the next round. There was a ton of matches that were after that were really good matches, right? They'd already lost, right? They'd already lost the game because someone else had already won. But and so those are some interesting games to see, and it's also interesting to see people still trying in them, I guess.
Yeah, I do know there was one semifinal, I believe it was Spain, went all the way down to its game 7. So it was 3-3, and then they had their finals there. I believe it was on Monday. It was actually on Monday, and they ended up, Spain won 4-3. So pretty crazy stuff. You know, you're never done. I mean, you could be down
True.
0-3 and still come back, win all 4 games, and move on.
That's true.
But yeah, there's a lot of this stuff going around. Like I play in Pokemon leagues. One of them is the PGL. Another one that's coming up. There's actually only 9 days left to sign up. Is the EGL. But they're similar things, but they're a lot smaller. They're not like they are kind of world renowned, but they're not like, it's not World Cup. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're drafted. All these players are signing up, and then they get drafted by certain people that are coaches. Whereas like the Victory Road Championship that we're talking about, it's like, which country do you want to represent, and then the best players from those respective countries are picked.
Right.
And that, I mean, that's a lot higher end, I think, than you know, a league like EGL or PGL or NPL for what you have it.
I mean, they really have some of the best there. I mean, I saw some of the matches there, and it's definitely the top of the line for sure.
Yeah, exactly. We have like Ashton Cock and like Joe UX9 representing the USA. There's also some other players. I got a friend of mine. His name is Brian. He goes by Angelo Hunter. I believe he was representing Ireland, but he's from California. But he comes from Irish heritage. So yeah, so a little bit of everything there.
A little bit of everything there. So some popular Pokemon that they had there were Incineroar, Rillaboom, Regieleki, Urshifu, and Zacian Crown. Any surprises there?
No. I can't say no fast enough, really.
Yeah.
Those Pokemon have absolutely been dominating. As you and I see here, Incineroar's usage is now up to 72%. Oh my goodness, man. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Incineroar, well, because who's the first restricted legendary in this list? Zacian.
Right.
And Incineroar is a Zacian counter. It's also a Rillaboom counter. And so countering, you know, 2 of the heavier ones on that list is why. And that's why Urshifu's at 33%, because it's a perfect counter for Incineroar. And so on and so forth. Like, I was trying to make a team the other day, as I was saying earlier, I was trying to make a team, and I was trying to not put Incineroar on there, and I ended up still putting Incineroar on there because you have to in this meta. There's like, I had no answer for certain spots there. So it doesn't surprise me at all that you see Incineroar on 72% of the teams right now, but it does tell me that the meta is getting stale, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you kind of, you know my opinion on it, I think, right?
Yeah.
I try really hard to not express that it is getting stale. But I mean, it is getting very limited. When you see a Pokemon's usage stats get as high as 72%, that's ridiculous. I mean, 70% of the teams.
4% is ridiculous. That's over half of the teams. And you're saying on Incineroar, over 2/3 of teams.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I can't really argue with that. But I will say that, I mean, I do everything I can to build without those Pokemon. Rillaboom's oftentimes more than not on my team, but that literally has been since Series 1. And I'm not going to let like an overpower ability like grassy terrain plus grassy glide and fake out and all that. I'm not going to let that hinder me from using it. Like I did stop using Incineroar a little bit. But it does complicate things. It makes things a lot harder. Incineroar is really good because it counters. I shouldn't say counter, because it can get return O-code, or it can get one shot by these Pokemon too. Yeah. But I mean, it gets fake out. It gets intimidate, so it can intimidate, drop the Zacian Crown. You can fake those Pokemon out as long as Psychic Terrain is not up. If Psychic Terrain is up, then chances are you're playing against a Calyrex Shadow. Just in case you were unsure.
Yeah.
Incineroar is a Dark type. Yeah, so you don't really care about fake out because you're just going to throat chop it or snarl it. Incineroar is a very, very good Pokemon to have here in this format, and 72% of the teams will tell you exactly why.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely why. I mean, there were some interesting picks in the Victory Road Championships, though, right? We saw a lot of Gyarados. We saw some Grimmsnarl. I know you're happy to see that. Lunala and I fuck this Pokemon's name up all the time. Yveltal. So those were some kind of off meta picks. What do you think about those guys being in there, particularly Gyarados? I think that's a really interesting one.
Well, I love every single Pokemon on this list. I really, really do.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see all of them on the list. I used Gyarados for probably about the last 30 days of the meta.
Yeah.
One of the reasons being, like I said, I don't want to build around Incineroar, and Gyarados is another Intimidate Pokemon. It's very important to have one Intimidate Pokemon right now, and I don't necessarily recommend having two because there's the occasional Defiant Pokemon. Hint, hint. I've actually been using Bisharp for the last week.
I've been trying to work with Hitmontop because I think it has a lot of potential in this meta.
I think, yeah, and there you go. That's another fake out Intimidate user. It also gets Wide Guard and Feint and Close Combat. There are some other moves that some people have been playing with. I think Pickley was using Knockoff on it. But yeah, that's a really cool one. Grimmsnarl, is one of my favorites. Series 10 is kind of weird because throughout all of Gen 8, I've been making fun of the people that have been putting fake out on their Grimmsnarl because there's plenty of other fake out users. You can't fake out a Dynamax Pokemon, and you only get 4 moves with a Grimmsnarl. So
you can forget that Grimmsnarl gets fake out. I didn't realize that Indeedee gets fake out. How dumb is it that Indeedee gets fake out?
It's really dumb. But it's kind of neat. It's very, 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 very niche. The cool thing about that is you can fake out.
What you do? You run fake out on Indeedee. So when you have the Rillabooms that underspeed you, you can still fake out the Rillaboom. No one's going to expect the fake out from Indeedee, hands down. That's how you fuck some people up right there.
Well, that's really funny. But I will say too, really quick, you can fake out in grassy or in psychic terrain as long as it's not touching the terrain. So if that has levitate or if it's a flying type, you can still fake it out. But that, like I said, that is very, very niche. So
that is very niche.
Folks, don't put fake out on your Indeedee.
Don't put fake out on your Indeedee. Yeah,
just don't do it.
You heard it from us first, folks. Something you probably didn't hear from us first, but you're super excited about though, is the 2022 Championship Series has been announced. Yes, earlier this week, the Pokemon Company confirmed that the 2020 Championship Series will return. Pokemon Premier events are returning in early 2022, and all players who entered the 2020 season, which was canceled in March of 2020, will have their points transferred to the 2022 season. However, these events have very strict requirements. All present players, audience, and staff are to wear appropriate face coverings at all times. No eating and drinking inside or outside the venue, or inside the venue is allowed during the events for players and staff. They will forgo the traditional pregame handshakes. Each match is to be set at least 3 feet apart from other matches, spectators, and other places where people may congregate. A separate area has been designed for spectators. Events are restricted. The biggest one is the events are restricted to a maximum of 30 individuals, including players and spectators, at one time when indoors, or 60 individuals when outdoors. And obviously, these are all COVID protocols that have been added to address the ongoing pandemic that are out there. They also have added that all events, they've been a little bit ambiguous about this, but kind of not ambiguous about this. But for the most part, they're going to comply with state mandates, and players are going to need to be vaccinated in order to attend these events. So there is, there's definitely a lot of excitement with 2022 coming in here, but there's also definitely different stuff with all this changes in the COVID protocols and stuff that could potentially hinder the momentum that VGC was seeing in 2019. Nibbs, what do you think about this? Are you excited, or do the limitations prevent this from being something that people can actually enjoy?
Well, I think that answer is actually kind of regional, depending on where you live. Like when I say that, I mean when I first moved here to Austin, and I started to go to events like 6 months before COVID actually hit. I went down to Houston and I went to a mid-season showdown there, and there was only 23 players in attendance at a mid-season showdown. Now, they were all excited about that and saying, "Oh, there's more people than usual," which that meets protocol. If 23 players is less than 30, I believe that's correct at least.
Yeah, that means you only have 7 spectators.
Right,
so only 7 of them can be dating people.
Well, we might not run into that issue.
Right, we might not even have that problem.
Oh man, that's terrible. But anyways, so going back to when I moved here, so before I moved here, I'm actually from New Jersey, and I played in the New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia section, where oftentimes more than not, if I was going and traveling up to Brooklyn, sometimes, man, I would be in a Premier League challenge, a Premier Challenge,
Yeah.
because that is the smaller local event. Like, typically you'd see like 10 or 15 players there, like, here in Austin or somewhere
Right.
else. There'd be like 60 people there, man, and I'm not exaggerating. I've actually been to a Brooklyn PC that had 60 players in it.
Oh, wow.
So when you're in a section like that, I could see how you could be upset at 30 players max or 30 people max, 30 individuals max. That could get kind of frustrating if I was up in that section and I tried to travel 3 hours, and they said no, you can't play. And according to the Pokemon rules, they're being very, very strict about it. But I will say, to answer your question, I know I've kind of branched off at this point, but to go back and to answer your question, I'm really excited about this. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I know there are
Good.
limitations, and there's lots of restrictions that we're going to have to face, but the fact is that we're moving our feet forward. You know what I mean? We're stepping forward, and we're going in the right direction. And if you have to be as strict as humanly possible, so be it. As time
Right.
goes on, these restrictions will eventually fall off, and it's not something that's going to be forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not forever. We'll at one point have worlds again, and we'll allow more than 30 people or 60 people or whatever. It's not forever,
Yeah.
and I think just getting it started is important.
I hope so, man. And I hope in that meantime I become super rich so I can travel the world to go even just watch worlds and stuff like that. I've told you this before, but like I want to go and like go to the Oceania tournament. Not really just to go watch Pokemon, but to go watch Pokemon, but also to go see Australia, for a week. I don't want to stay there too long. There's like huge giant spiders there. I don't know if you've seen some of the shit that comes out, but it's fucking crazy shit. But so I'm glad. I'm glad too. I'm glad that we're moving in the right direction as well. I'm glad that that's the direction we're going. Honestly, and the COVID protocols are, they are a little bit intimidating. I do think that they will lax up over time for sure, and I do. I still see this, at least for me, at least in my risk profile, that this could be still something that I could still go to. If there's events in my area that are for vaccinated people where everyone has to wear masks and there could be no more than 30 people inside, I actually feel pretty safe attending that kind of event, if that's the case. So, I'm excited about that. I know that there's other people that might have higher risk profiles and that may not be able to be there, but hey, at least you're going to be able to, see some in-person stuff on TV. At no point in time really did anyone that has an immunocompromised position think that they were going to be the first in line to go do all the fun stuff. But at least we're marching in that direction, and I think that's a good thing, and I think that there's a lot for people to be excited about. I think that it's been one of the biggest things on Twitter, at least in my Twitter page recently. Sora being announced and Pokemon is back. Everyone just like, I'm good. I'm in a great fucking mood. They're singing Lizzo songs and shit. Just having
man. Dude, same day. Wait, that was all yesterday, right? The Pokemon got announced, Sora got released, and then that night, Sylveon gets dropped on Unite.
Yeah.
What a great day it was yesterday.
Yesterday was really good. Really good. If you're a Nintendo fan, it's a good one. It was a good one. A lot of people were excited about it. Well, that'll wrap it up for the headlines this week. A lot of fun stuff in the mix there. Definitely some interesting things to talk about. But we have a new segment that we got coming up, and for our viewers here. Intro into our mod segment here. So we have a new segment based off of a popular Disney Plus series. You may have heard of it. It's called What If, and they literally ask what if questions. And actually, there's a new episode out tonight. There's a promo for What If for you. I'm probably gonna be watching that right after the show. What If has been really a lot of fun, right? Because it's allowed the Marvel universe to go off in these random directions and kind of speculate the questions, what if? Well, we've decided that we're going to play Uatu here on Silph Co Sports, and we are going to ask the questions, what if? And with that, oh, thank you for the follow, Dread Mambo.
Dread Mambo, what's up?
Yeah, I just caught that there. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Yes. So, looks like Nibbs, you have the first one. What is your first what if question?
Oh man, I'm really excited for this one because this is very open-ended question. What if Dynamax is already done? What if they don't go back? What if it ended there?
What if
Series 9?
Series 9 is the end, or if we just
Spooky
don't go
Cup.
back in general, I think that there is a potential possibility if they go the GS Cup direction and they go with double restricted and no Dynamax, that could play out until Gen 9 comes along. But honestly, I don't think we're done with Dynamax. I don't think we're done with Dynamax. I think that you got to think about it this way. We haven't even had an announcement for Gen 9 yet. Ideally, we're going to get an announcement for Gen 9 in February of next year. But that still means that all the way until, essentially likely 2023. If there's a new Pokemon game that comes out, the max it's probably going to come out is what, November of next year? So 2022. So we'll likely have a meta in Swish until at least the end of, or at least like third quarter of 2022. I think there's plenty of enough time to even have a double restricted meta and have a Dynamax meta. And I think that they're gonna at least give it one more shot before it's gone, right?
Yeah, I don't think Spooky Cup would be the end of it, or like Series 9 or anything like that. It's really hard to say, and you're right on par there with the new game. The Gen 9 would probably drop in 2022. I don't have all the dates pulled up in front of me. Honestly, I wasn't really anticipating this conversation, but the way that Pokemon typically has done things is if they released a remake, then the following year that's when the new game would come out. And if they did not release a remake, then instead of the remake, that's when the new gen would come out. And that's kind of what they've been doing at least since Gen 2. And I would kind of anticipate that they would do the same thing, after releasing a remake here in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I would anticipate that 1 year from November, they're gonna have Gen 9.
Yeah.
Who knows what it's gonna be? Who knows if that's actually true? As we mentioned earlier, Pokemon can be kind of unpredictable sometimes. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of what I think.
Yeah, I think it could be unpredictable. I think that I feel like they can't be done with this meta just quite yet. I feel like we also didn't really get a chance to play around with Gmax Melmetal at all. I feel like we should have gotten a chance to play around with that. I don't know. I don't know when that crossover event's going to happen, but I just can't see them being done with Dynamax so quickly. Or maybe it's been around a lot longer than I feel like it has. Like, it's been several years, right? This came out in 2019. Dynamax is a 3-year-old mechanic at this point. You got to think it's the end of 2019. It came out in November, so we're coming up on 2 years right now. No, it's 2021. Yeah, 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. You're right. Yeah. We're coming up on 2 years. All right. Yeah. No, I can math. I just made myself age myself even more.
I know we did kind of drag out the first one kind of quite a bit, but I do think that we'll kind of see more of it. We'll get more of an idea in the next couple of series. So it'll probably be a couple of months. Like, it'll probably be like 4 months, right? It'll probably be 2 more series. We'll already have Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl that comes out next month on the 19th. That's really exciting. I'm really looking forward to that. A lot of people aren't looking forward to that. Are you looking forward to that?
Which I'm sorry, which part?
To the remake for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
I am looking forward to the remake in general. But only because it's giving me a chance to. Well, I don't know. I'm not as looking forward to the remake as I was before it was announced. I thought they could really. What I wanted from the remake was I wanted a Sword and Shield version of brilliant Gen 4, and we didn't get that. And so I think that it gives me a chance to go play Gen 4 on stream again. Do some things, some not Nuzlocke, but some like challenge stuff that I've wanted to do before with a new game. So I think that is that's gonna be fun. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. But I've got the next what if question for you. Speaking of new games, right? We've got this is one of the first generations where we're getting two kind of remakes in a way. Arceus is not really a remake; it's kind of its own new series, but it's still going backwards to the fourth gen, right? But what if we've gotten a lot of new Pokemon in Pokemon Arceus, right? We got Cleaver that was announced last week. We got Basculin. We've even got these variants of different Pokemon, including a psychic version of Braviary, and what else? We got the Wordier, the deer Pokemon thing, and then the new little Arcanine boy. My question to you is, what if when Pokemon Arceus drops, they allow these Pokemon into the Swish meta? Do you think that there's anything that could be interesting here that we could be looking at? Something that could possibly change things up a little bit?
Well, I'm going to answer that in two different ways.
Yeah.
Do I think that they will do that? I have actually thought about this, and I don't think they will. Do I want them to? I do want them to.
Right.
But if they did, I guess that's three different ways.
That's the real question, though. If they did, what happens? What do you think? What do you think happens there? Yeah. Go ahead.
If they did, I would definitely want to use the Scizor, or not the Scizor, but the Cleaver. I would want to use Cleaver. I've used Scyther in the past in like OU singles leagues, like a long time ago. That thing is really good. I've used Scizor many times. I used Mega Scizor back in 2015 or 2016 or whatever it may have been for VGC. I've used Scizor in OU leagues as well. I've used it in VGC outside of having the Mega, like Life Orb, Assault Vest, Lumberry.
Yeah.
Give that thing anything, and it was viable back in the day. There's so many counters to it now that it's hard to use. But that being said, I want to use Cleaver really bad. But I'm really excited for the new pup in Hisuian. Yeah. I think it's Hisuian.
Hisuian Growlithe. That one's a cutie. Up smash is like saying you'll die to any water and ground move. Look. Hey, fucking Colossal exists. All right. Marcargo exists. All right. Camelrupt, is Camelrupt rock?
Ah, Camelrupt. It's
right?
I think it's ground fire, right?
We forgot about some of these great Pokemon that were Dexited, but yes, Camelrupt still exists. It was a Torkoal before Torkoal. Right?
Such a beautiful Mega, man. That's one of the coolest Megas in the game.
You think so?
Yeah, it's black. It's just straight black.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Anyways, I guess for me, if Arceus allows Pokemon into the Swish meta, I think the one that would be the biggest game changer is going to be Braviary. With a Psychic typing, I think that whatever its ability ends up being, I think that has a lot of potential to really be something that could mix up the meta a lot. Braviary's already got a really cool moveset with that typing. Who knows what it could get access to. So I think that's cool. And especially, look, if again, the water typing on the water weakness on Hisuian Growlithe may be a big weakness, but if it's got Steam Engine for whatever reason, they decide this puppy needs Steam Engine. Slap on a weakness policy. Arcanine's already pretty tanky. Then it could be really good, Mon. Maybe it could win, some championships. Who knows?
That would be really funny.
That would be really funny.
Honestly, I think the oh man, who was the Braviary? What's it? How do you say it?
Braviary.
Oh, it's just the
Hisuian Braviary. Yeah.
If it's Psychic Flying, it's literally just going to be Galarian Articuno.
Yeah, essentially.
It'll probably have the Defiant everything.
Yeah, or Siliglyph, but Siliglyph hasn't really done much of anything. But we already know Braviary's got great stats. So,
yeah,
and a physical psychic attacker, that's going to be super duper interesting to see. Echo Rose in chat, please don't give the boy Steam Engine. already hoping it doesn't get it. I mean, at
Oh
this point
man.
in time, like, it wouldn't make sense with it being an ancient Pokemon for it to have Steve Engine, but also doesn't make sense that you have a fucking smartphone. So, whatever, they've just detached themselves from reality at this point, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So for the next one, we do have. I'm going to go ahead with the. What if we got Mega Flygon? What do you think? Would it change typings? Would obviously the megas typically change abilities, so you're going to want to. If you're a Flygon, you're probably going to want to switch to a flying type. If you want to have the resistance that you had with the previous ability with Levitate. I mean, this is something that's been speculated for literally years now. Everybody wanted it. Everyone in the fan base wanted Mega Flygon. What if Pokemon actually listened and gave us Mega Flygon?
One, I think we'd have to get Megas back first. That's the first hurdle. And then two, I mean, I don't know. You got to get Nintendo on the same train that that the Snyder fanboys were on. Get a Snyder cut for Mega Flygon. That's what you need, but I didn't really get a chance to play with Megas very often. I can't. I have a hard time speculating on what it could potentially do. But a Dragon Steel type would be really nice. I mean, the only one we've had before, I think, has been Duraludon, which came out in Gen 8. So a faster one might be a fun way to do it, and it might take off some of Flagon's horrible ice weakness. So those are some things I would think of. Maybe a Steel Dragon typing that would be fun. But yeah, you're more of the Mega expert. What would you speculate if we got a Mega Flygon? What would it be like?
Well, a lot of the speculation that was going on around like a few years ago. I mean, people are dreaming about it. They're fantasizing about it. They're thinking compound eyes, and you know what I mean. I mean, it's a dragonfly, so most people are thinking like dragon typing and flying typing, or bug and flying, or just anything that kind of represents an actual physical dragonfly.
Bug and dragon would be cool. I don't think we've had a bug and dragon.
I think you're right. Yeah. And I think that would definitely be the way to go, and maybe something like compound eyes. But the only thing, it just doesn't get the move pool for compound eyes. I mean, I think it gets Draco Meteor. Maybe that's something that you want to up your accuracy for.
Maybe.
But outside of that, I mean, I'd rather see something better than compound eyes. Maybe
give it sleep powder just for the hell of it.
I would love that.
This fearsome Mega Flygon gets thrown out there just so it can go to sleep.
Yeah, but a lot of the theories were kind of they sound a lot like Butterfree, with compound eyes and bug flying. That's literally Butterfree. Yeah. What I would like to see probably is a bug and dragon. And the typing or the ability is kind of tough because Levitate is really nice. It gives you that resistance to ground.
Yeah.
But also, do you really need it with that typing? I don't know. It's nice to not be affected by a common attack,
That's true.
To have a switch in.
Very true. But I think the bigger speculation there is what if we got Megas back? If what if is answered first, then we're in a good spot to do that. But next on our list, I have the last what if. You asked what if we got Mega Flygon. You asked what if Dynamax were done. What if we got all of it, bro? What if they brought back Dynamax with Megas or Z moves? One of the which. Like, what if they decided that they were going to combine gimmicks, right? Wasn't at one point in a time they allowed Megas and Z moves in the same meta? Why not Dynamax Megas and Z moves? What do you think?
I think that's horrifying. I think it's very chaotic and it's toxic. Maybe toxic is not the appropriate way to put it, but it's just madness, man. How do you even know what to build around? You can just kind of click.
It's just gonna make every fucking Pokemon match at Dragon Ball Z fucking epidemic. Just like, now you've reached my final form, not unless I turn into a fucking kaiju. Like. Just like I don't know. It would be insane. And if you could Mega with Z moves, I mean, like, or you could Mega with Dynamax, like, what is up, what is down at that point? I think
I took a 2-year hiatus from Pokemon, and it was shortly after Z moves were introduced, and it was within good reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Z
Yep.
moves are just it's a delete button is what it is.
Yeah. Yep. Up smash put in there. It's decision fatigue in its purest form. I think that would be that's very Echo Rose, Mega Kang, Xerneas, and Primal Groudon all in the same.
No.
That
Plus
just
two,
yeah.
plus two.
And then yeah, oh my goodness, that would be insane. But I think that it could allow for, I mean, if you like complex decision trees, I think that could be something that might be kind of fun. I think Dynamax and Megas would be a fun one to combine, right? Don't throw in Z moves, that would be too complicated. But Dynamax and Megas, I think that could work together, and I think that you could figure out a way to get that to be a fun mechanic. Honestly, you may not have restricteds or stuff in there, but Dynamax and Megas, I think that they could. I think it would be fun. I would like to see it happen. What if is we would have a lot of fucking fun.
Oh man, you know what's funny? I don't want to play in either one of those. I want to just play straight up Pokemon, where it's my Pokemon versus your Pokemon, no gimmicks, right? I mean, the gimmicks would lie within the team, where if I want to trick eject button or trick lagging tail you, then that's it, and you don't really have much of a way around that except for going for protect or switching out into a dark type or something if I'm prankster in that trick.
Yeah.
But I will say, when you put it that way, Dynamax with Megas and those two alone, I think that sounds like a lot of fun. I would love to have Mega Lucario back. And Mega Charizard was really cool. I mean, that's 3 different Pokemon in one.
Like what if you got a way to be able to, like, what if you couldn't Dynamax your Mega and vice versa, right? Like you could Mega Evolve or Dynamax, one or the other, right? Then you could have potential situations where maybe you could Mega Evolve your Pokemon to take out a Dynamax. That really does, in my opinion, actually could have a potential to counter Dynamax. That would be kind of cool.
I'm trying to think of some of those Pokemon, and the only immediate ones that come up to my mind, like they're the ones that you don't want to Dynamax. They're typically like the Dracovish, who's got Strong Jaw, oftentimes has a Choice Scarf.
Yeah.
You also have like Darmanitan, who has like a built-in choice band. Like you can't switch your moves after you go, and if you Dynamax with these Pokemon, then you drop their abilities, so it super hinders that Pokemon overall. That kind of makes me think like maybe that's kind of a neat idea, where you get these Pokemon that now you don't want to Dynamax them because you want to click Mega on them.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's a neat idea. It's cool.
I think it'd be fun. I hope we could see it happen. You heard us, Nintendo. Do it for Series 11. Put Megas in with Dynamax, and then just watch the whole world burn. I'm kidding. We'd have a lot of fun. Well, that wraps it up for the first half of the show. We're going to take a short break, but before we do, we want to shout out all of our many viewers here. Echo Rose, Up Smash, chilling up there. Savage Patch Kid. We also, as FaZe the Great, I saw Quiver Dance in here earlier. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us and doing all the stuffs. Any shout outs, Nibbs? You can't see anything, can you?
I can't see anything at all. I don't know what's going on. I guess shout out to ATX VGC, just because, I don't know, that's my group.
Shout them out anyways.
Shout out to Geeklife, and you're going on that right now.
As well. Also a reminder to our viewers that this stream is brought to you by Swift Lifestyles. Use code GETGeeked for 15% off your purchase at swiftlifestyles.com. They got energy drinks, hydration powder, swag, shakers, and so much more. It's a great way to support the show and still get a tasty drink too. But enough of the advertising. We will see you guys back after the break. See you then. Hello, and we are back. Welcome. I wasn't quite ready for that. Okay, there we go. We are back, and we are here with Nibbs, who used Substitute earlier today.
Yes, I am still waiting for that substitute to proc here, Dodson. Nobody has hit me with a super effective attack or any damaging moves that do more than 25% damage.
Nope, they haven't. It's been all positive vibes from here. It's just been really a lot of just me using taunt, which sorry doesn't work on someone who's already used substitute. This is a really bad joke. I don't know why we're going on this route.
We're running with it. You got to use sound-based moves if you want to get to me, brother man.
Oh man, we are really stretching that out. Well, now it is time for our match of the week, and we have a fun one tonight. We have the Beniti Soldier versus Echo Rose, two of our favorite guests that we have in our Geek Live server. If you want to hang out with them, come join us in the Geek Live Discord. There should be a link below on one of the little things. We have socials and stuff like that. Nelly's got links in there. I'm sure it's in there. But yeah, come hang out with us in our Discord. But yeah, So it's one of the greatest VGC matchups that we could scramble to find here in the past couple of days. So without further ado, let's go into it, Nibbs, and see what they're bringing to the match.
All right, Dodson, I'm really excited for this one here.
All right.
So I'll go ahead and if you don't mind, I'll talk about the teams a little bit. All right, so Echo Rose here is going to be using Calyrex Shadow Rider. Pretty cool choice there for the bring. Also going to be with the Urshifu, Serena, Incineroar, which we talked about earlier, is on 71% of the teams. That is crazy to me. I still can't believe that.
71% of the teams.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. Alongside it, there's also going to be Regieleki and Celesteela. I'm really excited to see Celesteela. What do you think about Amber's team here?
Amber's team with Spheal, Togekiss, and Didi, Natu, Ice Horse, and the Sword Doggo. Very interesting picks here. Spheal, a top pick for Amber. One of the go-tos for her is Spheal. She believes is God tier and takes it with her on every team. The Natu is also a surprise one. We're seeing it from Beniti's side, so we can see that it has a Focus Sash. And Didi, pretty standard run with the Psychic Seed. So there's a little bit of interesting stuff. And of course, you do have the Zacian there, which is a good... definitely a good restricted to bring, but Spheal and Natu, I don't know how that's going to hold up. What do you think, Nibbs?
Well, I do have one question for you after seeing Amber's team and the Spheal. Is she a member of the Little Roots Lessons Discord? Possibly.
I wouldn't know that for sure, but it would certainly seem like that with this lead of Natu and Ndidi and Calyrex and Regieleki on the other side for Echo Rose. Definitely, we're seeing Natu right out there in the beginning. The question remains: what the hell is this Natu doing, right?
Yeah, honestly, I still don't know what this Natu is up to, if you will. But one thing I will say is that it's a pretty good bring there to have the Ndidi, Calyrex, and Regieleki. They can't really do a whole lot against them, as we are going to see the Follow Me come out and the redirection from Ndidi. That Electro Web is, however, going to hit both Pokemon here, slowing down Natu. Super effective attack, bringing it all the way down to 33 HP. That Ndidi is also going to lose some health as well. Astro Barrage coming out. That's also a spread attack, but that's not going to affect the normal type there, as it is a ghost type attack. However, that Natu is just kind of sitting there, and it's going to be pulled off the field after that. So that's going to give Calyrex a free Grenade boost, and it's going to go to +1.
Get that +1 on the Grenade boost. That's definitely not something you want to see. Spread moves are so prevalent in this meta right now. Looks like we're not going to see exactly what the Natu was up to this round, as we see the Zacian come here. Good old Sword Dog for Beniti. But yeah, definitely not the play that you want to see if you're Beniti. Am I saying that? I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, it's Beniti, right? Yeah. Yes. But definitely not the play for Beniti. Amber is her name. That you want to see there with the Focus Sash being broken. Thunderbolt coming off the Regieleki into the Ndidi, taking it all the way down. Oof. Just this is not the position you want to see. Crit. Hard crit. And then you have the Astral Barrage coming off of Calyrex. It's going to go both slots, but it doesn't even need to, because only Zacian's on the field, and that'll take it all the way down. Oof. Definitely not the turn you want to be if you're on Amber's side of the field right now.
Yeah, if you're Echo here, you're sitting very pretty. You've had 2 turns. You got 2 Grimnea boosts with Calyrex Shadow Rider. You're using the fastest Pokemon in all of Pokemon right next to it. The only thing that Amber has here is the Ice Horse known as Glastrier.
One of the
I'm not
slowest.
It is one of the slowest, yeah. We're going to see Volt Switch come out and do quite a bit of damage. I didn't see what the item was there for Glastrier, but I wouldn't be too surprised if that was an Assault Vest. Honestly, I felt like it should have done maybe a little bit more. Maybe it just depends on the investment. However, we are going to see an attack. Maybe it was a prediction here from Echo that maybe it's going to be a ground type attack in high horsepower, and it is going into that Celesteela. So not going to affect the Celesteela, but it was super effective against Regieleki. Substitute also
hard counter.
Calyrex.
Yeah, absolutely hard counter there to that play. Even if with a lead of 4-on-1, still just not going to give an inch. Wide guard coming off of the Celesteela, and then Calyrex coming in with the side shock. I think that should do enough of it to take it out, but we'll see right here. Oh, and the rest of the health goes behind Nibbs there, so we can't kind of yep, there we go. It's down. It's down for sure.
+2 side shock coming from Calyrex. I don't think Glastrier can take that.
It would be a miracle. It would be a miracle.
We had a pretty lopsided game number 1 there. Perhaps it was the lead in Natu and Indeedee. What the heck does Natu do? I'm trying to figure that one out still.
I'm not sure.
Maybe is it indoor tech? Is it some kind of indoor tech that Amber is trying to get off, where it has the focus sash and it just gets hit by a super effective attack, and then.
But the focus sash in this meta is it's a dangerous run unless you have something that is immune to at least one of the type of attacks of the common spread moves that you see there. I mean, that was one of the first things I would be worried about with a Regieleki on the other side of the field and a Calyrex, is that an Astral Barrage and Electro Web's going to hit me. And if I'm not prepped for getting hit twice, you're kind of shit out of luck.
Yeah, it definitely makes a lot more sense with what you're saying there, and I fully agree. And part of what you just said, I think, is maybe why we saw a lot of people switch to Mystic Water, Urshifu. Most people before, you wouldn't see an Urshifu that didn't have like a Focus Sash or a Choice Band, one or the other. If you saw a Water Urshifu, it was almost guaranteed that it was Focus Sash. But in a non-Dynamax format where you can get faked out a lot more easily, that Focus Sash almost means nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really scary to run Focus Sash in this meta for sure. Amber there going for a lot of different mix-ups. Wasn't sure if she was gonna bring the same thing over again, or she's gonna bring something different. It looks like she mixed it up just a little bit there at the end. But Urshifu and Regieleki coming out for Echo, Rose on his side, and Indeedee and Glastrier going to change things up just a little bit for Amber. What do you think? Is this the right call? Is this the right switch up to kind of get a bit more of advantage in this match?
I think it's a better idea.
Yeah,
it's definitely still going to be tough though. Regieleki is going to hit both of these Pokemon reasonably okay. Maybe the Indeedee a little less well than the Glastrier. We do see the Glastrier has 207 HP. It is an ice type, which are normally are shatteringly frail. You know what I'm saying? But on the other side of the field, we have something that hits both of these Pokemon for super effective in the Urshifu Dark type.
That's true.
This Volt Switch going into the Indeedee is going to bring it down to 3/4 health, and we're going to see a switch out here for Echo.
Oh, I'm worried about a Wicked Blow coming this way. Oh, something wicked this way comes. I know it. Oh. And there it is. Man. There's the Wicked Blow. Oh, poor Indeedee. Oh.
I feel so bad for this Indeedee's family.
Super effective. Oh, yeah. And there you go. Yeah. That Indeedee's going to feel that in the morning for sure. And then the close combat coming off of Glastrier into Urshifu.
Oh,
and it is not sashed. So that is nice. That was a nice pickup for Amber. Is it going to be enough with the Celesteela coming in?
Well, that boost definitely helps. It hasn't taken any damage, but it is -1 special defense and defense after the close combat. It is Life Orb now, we do see, so it's not Assault Vest, as I may have mentioned earlier. But Amber's still in a bad situation unless somehow she's able to get Trick Room up, and it looks like it's not going to happen this time around, as neither one of these Pokemon have Trick Room. It's going to be tough. You're going to have to work around this Calyrex. Both of these Pokemon have a chance to KO Glastrier, with Astral Barrage with Glastrier at -1. I have a feeling that picks it up. If it doesn't, it's super close. And if that doesn't get it, then Flash Cannon from Celesteela potentially could, or Heavy Slam, depending on what the Celesteela has.
Yeah, and it looks like the Glastrier is going to go for a Protect this turn. And we're going to see Calyrex come in with the Astral Barrage. Of course, gets the Protect from Glastrier. We'll see how much damage it ends up getting off on the Zacian here. And Zacian is able to take it. Usually Zacian can take at least one of those. Zacian coming in with the close combat on Celesteela, and it does not take it out. Really, really needed to get the Celesteela out of there for that one. And a Heavy Slam coming off of the Celesteela into Zacian to finish. Oh, Zacian hangs in there just by a hair. Look at that. Steel on
that's
steel.
A really impressive live, honestly. Yeah. I think Amber kind of missed her chance there. She could have gone for a Behemoth Blade into Calyrex and gotten rid of that. I think that's the bigger threat than the Celesteela. Both of these Pokemon, Zacian and Glacier, they don't know. You saw that didn't even KO from less than half with the Heavy Slam into Zacian. So we do see Zacian going back to Amber here.
And then here we get the Togekiss coming out. Oh, shiny. Like you can barely tell. Astral Barrage coming off of Calyrex into the Togekiss and Glastrier, and the Glastrier does not take that very well, but the Togekiss goes down to about half health. And let's hope this isn't a Heavy Slam coming off of Celesteela, because that wouldn't be good for this Fairy type, that's for sure. And it is a Heavy Slam, and it's going to go right to the Togekiss. You hate to see it happen, but I think that Togekiss is going down, and oh man, that's a rough play.
Yeah, if anything, that's why you want to run Babiri Berry, if you want to try and protect yourself from a Celesteela steel type attack. Now you just have the Zacian at 9 HP remaining, and that's going to wrap up the best of 3.
Yeah, you got a Zacian and just a dying hope in the back that Zacian can 4v1 this situation. Like, I believe in Lapdog and Lapdog's ability, but I don't know if it's going to be able to pull it out here. That's for sure. Calyrex has got to miss this Astral Barrage, and everyone's going to miss everything from here. Why would you wide guard here?
Echo, why did you go for wide guard? We got Echo in the chat there. We do see Psyshock come out from,
and that'll.
I guess maybe it just didn't matter. Maybe you wanted to see Celesteela click something, or I don't know. But definitely GG's there to our players in Echo Rose and Amber as well. Definitely submit your best of 3 VODs if you guys are watching this here.
Yes, that's another thing that I wanted to reach out. We're here to highlight matches, and we would love to have y'all's match in there. So if you get a chance, or if you're playing somebody that you really just wanted to play, we would love to commentate your match. Send us your best of 3, and we'd love to do exactly what we did right here. So big thank you to Beniti Soldier, Amber, and Echo Rose for those contributions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, so that match, let's talk about it real quick. That I think goes to show you the prominence of Shadow Rider Calyrex, right? And you know, we got to see a little bit of Zacian there, and I don't think that might have been, in essence, the best showing for what Zacian can do. But you know, Calyrex Shadow Rider with Astral Barrage hitting both sides, and an incredible speed tier, especially with Grimnay, and just being able to snowball teams for, you know, pretty much. I mean, you can two-shot KO if you have the right mons, or basically knock out an entire team in 2 turns if you get the right plays. So I think that really shows why we see Shadow Rider Calyrex at the top of the usage charts, right?
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Plus, it's incredibly fast. The literal only thing to me that hinders Calyrex Shadow Rider is, which is kind of funny because it goes the other way too, its typing is literally 4 times weak to ghost and dark.
Yeah.
And other some other things hit it for super effective as well, I think. But that's 4 times effective to 2 things that are, I mean, they're somewhat common to say the least, you know.
Yeah, I've
But
seen a lot
also
more. I've seen a lot more single strike Urshifu now because of it. And then like I'll be like, oh, I'm just gonna, do this electric move into it, and it's like it's just normal type effectiveness. It's like, oh no, it's the different Urshifu.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's kind of cool, kind of neat about Urshifu too, is you can't tell what form it is just by looking at team preview. So oftentimes, more than not, it leaves you assuming that it's the water Urshifu, the rapid strike form,
Right.
Water fighting. But like you just said, it can definitely catch you off guard if once in a while you come across a dark Urshifu. But most of the time, those are going to be choice band or focus sash. They are still running the same thing.
Right.
The only thing that's different about Urshifu overall is the rapid strike does occasionally run Mystic Water, and that's pretty much it. That's you don't see much more than that. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a Lumberry, but that'd be kind of weird. Life Orb's kind of weird.
Yeah. You almost
yeah.
always have the same move set on it too.
Yeah, it's kind of restricted into what it can use. Yeah, you just see Aqua Jet, Surging Strikes, Detect or Protect.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of which, we saw in that last match, we saw that Wicked Blow coming off of that Urshifu, because one of the mons that I've been toying with, because I think it's a great counter to a lot of the fake out mons that we see out there, is Indeedee, Psychic Seed Indeedee in particular, because you don't even need to protect with a Shadow Rider Calyrex, right? That can just sit there and take it. And so I think it has a lot of potential as a really good counter to a lot of things out there in the meta, but one Urshifu and a Wicked Blow, that'll take you right out, right?
Oh man, it does so much damage.
It feels kind of exactly what Wicked Blow was made to do, right? When it came around. So yeah, not even Spheal Tricks or Togekiss, or that Togekiss turn, man, that was hard to watch. With the Celesteela coming in with that heavy slam, with that switching with Togekiss, that's not what you want to do when you have a Togekiss come in. You do not want it to take a Steel type attack.
I'm thinking maybe Amber thought that since that heavy slam did so little to the Zacian, that maybe it would do just as little to the Togekiss. But I think the problem is the heavy slam is a weight based move, and one of them was a Steel
is really
type.
light.
Yeah. Well, one is a Fairy Flying, which that sounds like a light typing, right? It doesn't look very light, but
you'd imagine it be like a little cloud of cotton candy.
I love Togekiss so much, man. I do.
Yeah.
I love fairy types.
I think it's one of those Pokemon that looks really fun in like the anime and like in the cartoon, but one of the ones that if it was realistic, it would be horrifying to see.
Especially Dynamax, dude. A big giant blimp that just looks like Togekiss, man. I am running inside every time.
But also like nothing has a face like that where it's just like attached on the side of its body. Like, does it have a beak? Like, why is it this beady fucking eyes? Like, is it like, it looks like a Ditto almost. Like, what is the difference between a Ditto Togekiss and a regular Togekiss? No one can fucking tell. It looks the same. I
love that so much.
I don't know.
Also, hey, shout out to Milky Papusa there in our chat.
Yeah. And I think that actually is a great way to transition into the final segment that we have tonight, our top 5 plays of the week, my personal favorite segment. And I'm coming in with number 5 with this beautiful Eldegoss steal from WD Michael. Honestly, like this play right here, you got 4 players on Zapdos, and he just taps it in with a fucking Eldegoss of all mons, and I mean, I think he gets it into score. They looked like he got a good run there. Like, no one even saw this coming, right? Look at this. Just comes in, checking out on it. I don't know. Oh, just a little bit.
Hides in the bushes.
I'm just gonna come in here. Oh, thank you very much. I'm just gonna leave. Don't worry about that. They're sitting there and they don't even realize what's happened. Like, you see that? They just stood there for a second and they were looking at the Eldegoss. Watch at the end of this clip when it comes back on the loop. You go in there, you get a couple little strikes off. You get just tap it in, right? And then look, this team is just mystified for a second. They're like, wait, what the fuck just happened? What the fuck just happened? And then that woman champ's like, he got it.
They're over there now.
Oh
man.
my gosh, what an
Great job there from
amazing
WD
play. Yeah, great job by WD Michael. Who we got coming in at number 4?
All right, number 4 we have Savage and Roos. With the Zapdos steal. Oh, another Zapdos steal in Unite. Oh man, looks like Roos Bane there. Dotson playing as Zera Aura. We know you love Zera. Did you just wipe their team too? They got. Oh man, you killed the Snorlax. What a great play there. You're gonna take it all the way home with the Zera, getting the Volt Switch out. It looks like bopping that in there for a quick 100. Man, what a great play there.
Yeah, that was a great play. Thanks, Savage, for submitting that in, because that was one of my favorites. Yeah, you get pretty much the whole team right there. That Venusaur just giving up on life, and I will mind you that was a $40 Venusaur. That was one of the Venusaur with the $40 outfit. That fucking yeah.
That $40 did not save it. You know,
did not save it.
Oh man, it's not pay to win. It is. Yep. It is just win to win. That's pretty much it.
It just picks their aura and win. And that leads us to number 3 in the countdown. We have this clip from Machu Picchu. Moki Papusa. I was gonna try to get that right.
Correct us if we're wrong too.
Yeah, this is a really, really interesting play here. You've got a lot of health on this Regieleki and just this one Shadow Sneak to get it off. But I got started off from the beginning here. Okay, so you have this Garana finishing off this Zacian, so surviving enough with the Focus Sash, I'm assuming with the Focus Sash, to survive this hit. And that Regieleki, it's at 25% health. That's got a health in the orange right there, right? And I mean, I really don't know if the Shadow Sneak hits it to get it all the way down, but that's a hell of a play, and it's a hell of a way to win on 1 HP with a beautiful, shiny Giratina.
All right, so coming in at number 2 here, we have Joey Pokeaim, who is, if you guys know him, he's pretty well known. Oh my goodness. Oh man, we were talking about this earlier in Mamoswine. Mamoswine is Mamofine. Oh my goodness. Do you guys see this? It looked like a total team sweep. If it wasn't a total team sweep, it was definitely a massive damage output. We do see the, the Mamoswine teammate there in the Crustle getting a bunch of KOs. I got to assume that Mamoswine was doing all the damage there.
Let this one loop a little bit for a second here, because this is a hell of a play here. This is at least 4. There's 4 of them right there. Four guys. And it, like,
so
take
is that
2.
Icicle Crash that it's using, or it's Unite move?
So
it's
that's a full team wipe. Yeah.
It's freezing it. So its opponent's entire team basically is all together and forced to stay still in one small area, allowing Joey Pokeaim team here to just get a team swipe, and they surrender.
They surrender at the end.
Just all the surrender.
And I'm looking at this again, though. If you look at it, pretty sure like Crustle stole a hell of a whole lot of these kills. Look, you got Mamoswine getting that one, right? Cinderace getting that one, all right? Crustle getting one again, okay? And then Crustle got the Machamp. Mamoswine only got one of those kills. It's definitely Mamoswine putting in the work there, right?
Well, it got 4 assists, so.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Pokeaim, hell of a one. And number 1, our last clip of the night is also from WD Michael with this amazing triple snipe with the Solar Beam. Holy shit! Look at this. Look at this one again. 3 in a row. Line them up and just go fucking dunk on them. Why not? Why the hell not? You just sniped 3 of them. Would have been better if we get off the 50 points, right? But look at this. 3 lineup, and then boom, they're all done.
Wow.
All done. Just a clean shot. Look, we've seen full team wipes here before on some of the top plays, but I have never seen a Solar Beam knock out 3 people. And you can see WD Michael there. He's really, really excited about that.
He's got so much joy in his face right now, man. Look at that smile, man. Getting that wipe with those three Pokemon in the Solar Beam.
Look at this. Look at the move, and then look at this reaction from him. He just loses it.
Oh, good for you, Wide. I love to see that so much. Good for you, brother. That's fantastic.
Absolutely.
I do want to say,
fantastic.
Don, we do have a correction in the chat there. It is Mochi Papusa. It sounds
Mochi
like,
Papusa.
yeah.
Mochi
So
Papusa.
shout out,
Okay.
yeah, shout out to
Shout
Mochi
out.
and Wide. And Joey Pokeyam, man, with the strongest jaw. If there's a person that gets strong jaw ability, it's definitely Joey Pokeyam.
For real.
And shout out to Savage and Savage Patch Kid and Dotson here as well for dropping those clips.
Yeah.
If you guys want your clips to be featured here on our stream and commentated, go ahead and send those to us. We would love to see all the clips you guys have to send.
Yeah, we really would. Those were some fun ones tonight. I definitely that Venusaur snipe, man. That was just, oof, that was a hell of a play. But yeah, that will wrap it up for this episode of Silph Co Sports. A big shout out to everybody that's been hanging out in chat. We got Machi Papusa, Up Smash, of course, hanging out. Savage Patch Kids, Bickley, Little as Nelly, and Echo Rose, everybody hanging out here. Thanks, guys. We really appreciate it. And if you like what you see or hear on the show tonight, also shout out to all of our people watching this on YouTube in the future. Hi, future people. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching. If you like anything you saw here, please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe for even more content. If you're here on Twitch, you can always, drop a follow, comment, all the good things. Check out our Discord. There's plenty of ways to support us. If you need more information, there's more information in the bio below. If you want more of me, you can find me on TikTok and Twitter, Twitter, and Twitch at Rusebane, WRUSE_BANE. Nibbs, where can they find you?
Oh man, they can find me over at Nibbs Plays Games on my personal channel, on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. You can also find me on Monday night doing the Monday Night Friendlies commentary with ATX VGC. That's something that I've been doing for actually sneaking up on a year and a half now. I think in about a month it'll be 18 months since we got it up and running.
Nice.
So that's pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to it. I do want to shout out the tour one more time for this weekend. For those of you that do know, we do have an ATX VGC charity tour for one of our very good community members. So go ahead and click those links there if that's possible. Nelly, I would greatly appreciate it if you had those. And yeah, shout out to all the people that showed up here tonight, and to the people that show up on YouTube. Click that subscribe button and like and comment. All those things really do help us out. And everybody that submitted clips. I do know Mochi Papusa is still there in the chat. Savage as well. I think Wyatt is probably streaming right now, but yeah, that's pretty much all that I have to say, other than thank you, Up Smash, for producing tonight.
Yeah, last thing I had on here was a big shout out to the strange pink blob behind the curtain, producer Up Smash. You can find his content in the description on the YouTube video. And you can also find it right here in chat if you're chilling with us here live on Twitch. Littlest Nelly will be dropping that link in there shortly. But that's all I've got. Nibbs?
Yeah, Sand Tacos. Thank you so much.
Sand Tacos.
Thank you so much for the follow. We appreciate the heck out of that. And we hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. It's something that's very fun. This was only number 2. So hopefully there are plenty more to come.
Hopefully plenty more to come. We promise that we won't always have the substitute doll, but we can't promise that we won't ever use it again, because it worked really well. I certainly couldn't do any damage to you that passed the 25% mark to proc it.
I feel like I look a lot better this way. Like you
Probably.
can't really see the bad hairline that I got going on, and that gap in my teeth. You can't really notice those things.
No. You look, a lot more civilized like this, especially with that classy ass tie. Look at that.
Oh man,
shit.
it's such a nice tie.
Such a nice tie. Anyways, again, shout out to everybody that's been here. Littlest Nelly for being mod in chat. Up Smash, thank you for doing everything behind the curtains. Nibbs, everybody. And that's it, guys. Thank you. Peace. Bro.